Hi, I'm Jovan Johnson, a journalist at the Jamaica Gleaner and a 2015 graduate of SALISES from the Development Studies program. I work in the investigative journalism unit at the Jamaica Gleaner. Now, the program has helped me considerably. One way in particular has been its emphasis on multidisciplinary understanding and approaches, an interdisciplinary approach to studies and to understanding development issues, to coming up with problems. I have used that to help me to understand problems, socioeconomic, political problems, all the different kinds of beats that I work on as a journalist. So for example, if I'm covering an issue in relation to squatting, yes, you may think that there are one or two areas that contribute to the problem, but from the master's program, Development Studies, I'm able to understand theoretically issues of development, housing, poverty, exclusion, economics, politics, sociology, history, colonialism, plantation society, how all of those things contribute. And what I'm able to offer to my reader is an in-depth understanding of where the problem is, to locate it contextually and historically, and then to use that to assess solutions that government may come up with, whether policies, programs, whatever it is. And when you're able to interrogate something using multiple lens, you're able to bring a better experience to readers, and you're also able to interrogate and to tackle an issue and give the best and get the best for your readers and your audience. I was a part-time student at SALISES. That meant I had to do 2 years, so therefore I have 2 memorable years at SALISES. One instance that remains with me critically and is a guiding light to this day was the organization of an academic conference for the course Understanding Contemporary Development Theories. I hope I'm remembering the course name correctly, taught by Dr. Patricia Northover. And there are 2 things about that one experience. One was in preparing for the assignment and in delivering one of the written pieces of the assignments, which I recall Dr. Northover describing my work as bar talk, failing me, I believe. But it was a reminder of what was required at this level. I mean, I'm a journalist, and here comes a professor talking to me and telling me that my work is bar talk, little evidence, I'm just trotting off the top of my head. And it reminded me that I need to be speaking of facts, or I need to do research, I need to be sure of the information on which I'm speaking, and then to be able to argue and to have my own opinion, but it must be built on evidence. And then tied to that is the introduction into scholarship, being able to write an abstract, organize a conference, a paper. And then what we had to do for that issue, I think it was on rural development and globalization, was we had to choose an issue in Jamaica and provide a response that was solutions oriented, which was important because we know we did not just have to rely on what others said about the issue, but we also had to interrogate it to come up with solutions. And so we had to make the presentation before members of faculty and anybody from the university community. So this was a real live experience that's been important and has been a guiding light for me. And that's one of my most memorable experiences at SALISES. Thinking about doing a master's at SALISES, jump at it. Take the opportunity if you can. It's an amazing place, and one of the reasons why is the approach to studies, the interdisciplinary approach, the multidisciplinary approach. Development issues, why countries are poor, why countries are rich, why is it that Jamaica is the way it is, why is it that the public sector is the way it is, why is it that Barbados is the way it is? It's because we're able to understand from different perspectives and appreciate the challenges that come to bear on political decision-making, financial decision-making. And SALISES brings you and it forces you to contend with issues out of your own comfort zone. I was a media and communication student when I went to, as a background, as in my past. I went to SALISES and I had to learn economic concepts. I had to study politics much deeper than I did before. I had to take on sociology. I had to take on philosophy of development. Those are important because if we're going to be leaders in public sector, private sector, government, wherever, we have to be able to appreciate that multiple things, multiple interests, multiple principles, multiple incentives are at play when we're considering a problem. And SALISES forces us to consider that. And of course, it's true to an issue. If we're going to be true to an issue, we need to understand it from all its angles. And SALISES requires that and provides that. Importantly for me as a faculty, it's a very small faculty, and as a result of that, you're able to get more time with your lecturers. You don't have to compete. They're there for you. You don't reach out to them. They don't hear from you. They reach out to you and in such a sincere way. and they're there for your growth and your own development. And it's a very rare institution in the region that forces us to consider our issues and also requires of us to come up with solutions.